low, hit 'em high.
Yeah.
Got to know, talk or die. Don't tell me no. Ain't that perfect try? I'm an outlaw. I'm Mr. President. Got something on my mind. I got something on my mind. Get 'em scared. Do it right.
Do it right.
Got no time. Come on now, you can fight. It's Mr. President.
Yeah, come on.
Running it, leading from my holster, and I'm speaking it just like I want to. I'm the man, you the boy.
You the boy.
I'm the truth, you the toy. You wanna act up? Well, I can take your joy. You can ridicule, I'm Mr. President. Got something on my mind. I got something on my mind. Get 'em scared. Do it right.
Do it right.
Got no time. Come on, now you can fight. I'm Mr. President.
Yeah.
Running it, leading from my holster, and I'm speaking it just like I want to. Gunning it, living out my holster. I got the power, so what you gon' do?
But it really don't matter. Obama, Bush, right down the Clinton. Bush Senior, Carter, the Reagan, Ford, the little Richard Nixon. More than the man, it's the plan, the platform, and the jurisdiction. Pinocchio, move out your pedal, talking heads to the last of your vision. 99% probably fiction, and one leftover truth. You better listen to mission and strat. Few sound decision, you missing the shit they have in plain sight. Now you mad wanna fight. You should be pissed, you got it right. That's why I reckon that love you like ain't no politics. My flight plan to take flight. I got something on my mind. What the natives on reservations.
Something on my mind.
Police killed and booked their vacations. The population in prison amazing. Disproportion color to Caucasian. Inflation, nation, monetary inflation, murder and taxation. Grief the foundation.
President.
Yeah.
What you say?
Say.
Never mind.
Never mind.
Did you hear?
Did you hear?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah.
Got to get your bread so I can run the grind. It's about the day.
I'm Mr. President.
Got something on my mind. I got something on my mind. Get it gone or give me love. Gonna get it all if it takes your blood. Running it, leading from my holster, and I'm speaking it just like I want to. Gunning it, living out my holster. I got the power, so what you gon' do?
Welcome to the limit. Get money. This tune is for the Donald. He ain't my president.
Mr. President, I'm Mr. President, I'm Mr. President.
Get it. Yeah. Welcome to the limit.
Give it up. You are now hip and getting a fix of Welcome to the Limit here on B-Side, where the dope is live and the dose is unlimited. I am Queen Godis, happy to be your guide on yet another musical high. Let's clap it up one more time for W2TL. All right, let's get into this. We have a lot to talk about today, gentlemen. Are y'all ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. So first, I would love for you to introduce these two gentlemen behind you, providing the soundscape.
On bass, I got Christian.
Christian, what's up, Christian?
On drums, I got Adriel.
Adriel, how you doing? Hold it there, and I'm gonna do the introductions for both of you because this is a special episode of B-Side, and I'll tell you why in just a second. First of all, this introduction and the beginning of the show is inspired by Christian's bass, which I'm gonna talk about in a second. So, here we go. We got Mr. Devon Lee over here, AKA Buttermilk, AKA Royal Son from the Royal Slum, AKA, I wanna say, if I can give you one more, owner of Pal's Lounge in Georgia. Give it up. And right here we got Mike Flo, aka Pick Gregory, aka Dave LaPelle, aka Masoud Asante, aka Michael Flowers, aka Daddy Flo, daddy of Garvey and Pilly, aka RBG DJ, aka host of B-Side sometimes. Give it up for Mike Flo. So to round out these introductions, we are going to take a little journey to the south side of Chicago, the home of Michelle LaVaughn Robinson, which is where you were born and raised.
Absolutely.
Made your way to Atlanta, which is where Devon is from, Atlanta. And now we're here in Brooklyn. Let's start the show. Fill in the blank, both of you. You get a chance. Brooklyn is?
Brooklyn is electric.
Electric. And what about you, Devon Lee?
Brooklyn is solid.
Solid. It's electric and solid. Go ahead and marinate on that. Yes. Okay, so let's go back to Christian's guitar. I heard from Bird that this guitar was made by a relative of yours?
Yeah, my uncle.
His uncle, which is, you're not Mike's, but I wanted to include you also in here because I know that you're a big part of the sound and the vibe, so thank you for being here. But speaking of family, I want to dedicate today's show to what I feel like is the spectrum of what this collaboration represents, the ancestors and the youth. And somewhere in between these two extremes, which are not really extremes because they're obviously connected, we get W2TL, Welcome to the Limit. I want you to tell us, Devon, about your great-great-grandfather, Mr. Robert Lee, and then I want you to follow up, Mike Flo, about your children, Garvey and Pilly, and talk about how these two generations, particularly these individuals in your life, have influenced not only what you're doing now, but like your journey up until this point. You dig?
Well, my great-grandfather, Robert Lee, a lot of people called him Buttermilk, which is where I got my name. Growing up, they used to call me Little Butter. He is my great-grandfather, and he is the one who started my legacy on Auburn Avenue. Auburn Avenue, where my club is, Pal's Lounge, is in the historical Martin Luther King district. And so it's the oldest black street in, in the A. It's, Black Wall Street in the A. Is Black liberation, entrepreneurship. So, I was raised in that self-awareness environment.
Right. And let's get a quick history lesson on the term buttermilk, right? So whoever thought buttermilk and rock and roll would be two things that we put in the same sentence, but buttermilk is kind of a form of rock and roll if we follow your quote that rock and roll is a soundtrack of Black liberation. Buttermilk is a smell of Black liberation. Tell us why. Do you know this story?
I don't know this story.
Okay, so this is
about.
really phenomenal. So the reason why the town is called Buttermilk is because it smelled like buttermilk, because a lot of the people in the town could not afford fresh milk. And so when you would pass by this particular town, you would smell that sweet, buttery smell, and so it became known as buttermilk, or AKA Black Bottom. And so I just think that that was a phenomenal thing that I learned while investigating about you and your great-grandfather.
Yeah, because there's an area called Buttermilk Bottom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that's kind of, yeah.
It's connected. I
That's
feel
the
like it's
area.
connected to the story. We're going to talk about that some more. Talk to us about Pilly and Garvey's dad, the Flows.
Our paths intersect in Atlanta because I went to college in Atlanta. I'm from Chicago, South Side, born and raised. Moved back to Chicago, birthed two beautiful children. Well, I didn't birth them. Their mom birthed them.
You participated in the process.
A little in out.
Got it in.
And and they are, affirmations for my life. They are ever present, omnipresent, and keep me focused and keep me balanced.
What's one word that through your music you want to leave? What do you want to leave for them in one word through your music? Through this?
Freedom.
Freedom.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
Which is a great thing to inherit. So thank you, great-granddad Robert Lee, and thank you to the younger generation. Shout out to Garvey, who's sitting in the front row, if I'm not mistaken. Let's go into the next song. The first song we heard was called Mr. President. We're going to talk about that too. Give it up one more time for W2TL. The next song is called Jump. Give it up.
hit this in a zone.
In a zone.
Where's my chick? I'm on the throne. I got some pretty little things in my mind.
Yeah.
It's coming down on me like sunshine. So fly by night, black as a crow.
As a crow.
Walk that plank, jump like you know.
Like you know.
I got too many other things on my mind.
Come on.
Still she gon' ride with me like sunshine. She ready,
Shaking Colombia, Tokyo, raging Berlin and Saxon. Revolution. Kisses in Paris, I'm in Jamaica. Essence of saffron. Revolution. If you free your mind, your ass will follow. Now move your body. If you free your mind, your ass will follow. Now move your body. If you free your mind, your ass will follow. Now move your body. Let me see you move your body. Let me see you move your body. Baby girl wanna get in my bag, I'm going Guinea-Bissau. Travel down West African coast, south to Cape Town. Hands up, it's a shakedown. Tune it up for me, face down. Recognize this royalty, baby, maybe you could touch the crown. 10 toes when I touch the town. Dedicated to move the crowd. I got faded in London town, that's up to Amsterdam and Judge the Cup. Space cake got a nugget, I'm in the red light district. I'm in clock in the morning, playing Eve at 8, I'm on the speaker snoring. No need to rush, baby, I'm pre-check. No bags to carry on, I carry on. In and out, I get going to go get it. You gotta go in and giving it this life, live it, give it your best shot. Go hard when I punch the clock. He throw the Charles de Gaulle. Window to the wall. If you free your mind, your ass will follow, now move your body. If you free your mind, your ass will follow, now move your body. If you free your mind, your ass will follow, now move your body. Let me see you move your body. Let me see you move your body.
Take the red eye from ATL, Chi-Town, NY, LA, Bangkok, Mumbai, Cape Town, Milan, Dar es Salaam, Madrid, Cairo, Acapulco, Vienna, Tijuana. Call your mama, she hit this in a zone.
In a zone.
Where's my chick? We going home.
We going home.
I got some pretty little things in my mind.
That's right.
She's coming down on me like sunshine.
She ready, no need to rush, baby, I'm pre-check. No bags to carry on, I carry on. In and out, I get going to go get it. You gotta go in and giving it this life, live it, give it your best shot. Go hard when I punch the clock. He throw the Charles de Gaulle. Window to the wall. If you free your mind, your ass will follow, now move your body. If you free your mind, your ass will follow, now move your body. If you free your mind, your ass will follow, now move your body. Let me see you move your body. Let me see you move your body. Hey. I'm talking sex, revolution. Hey, come on. We talking sex, revolution.
We're talking sex and revolution. If you free your mind, your ass will follow. I see what you did there. All right, let's keep it going. America eats its babies. No matter what y'all think about me, I'm still y'all child. Who said that?
That's Tupac.
That's Tupac. And that is the opening quote from a song that you have called Tupac Back.
Oh,
yes. Yes. I know that Tupac and Prince are a big inspiration for both of you. You got, well, Prince particularly for Devon, Tupac for you, and as well as Miss Tina and Miss Nina. What do you think each of these great figures, only one of whom is still walking amongst us, what would they say the limit is?
Nowhere.
The limit is nowhere. So talk to us about the name W2TL, which stands for Welcome to the Limit. What does that actually mean then?
It means no boundaries. It means no rules. We make the rules, so we break them, so there's no rules. No boxes, no shapes, no forms. You know what I mean? It is. And we welcome you to a land where that can be a reality for you without perceptions, without anticipating, without saying, oh, I've watched that movie before, I can predict that scene, without expectations. The limit, and which is nowhere.
So to use the word and to use the word against itself, is that what we're doing here?
To welcome to the limit, to be.
To be.
This is the limit. Nothing else really mattered. Like earlier, and And then whatever's coming up, quote unquote, you don't get the memo. None of it's really, we act and walk like those things. We can predict those things, and we harp on the past, and we stress ourselves out about our future. But right now is the limit. Being present, being aware, and being free and self-determined right now.
So if we circle back on the Tupac quote, where America, if we taking all of this, what you're just saying, and making it relevant to where we live, America, these United States, where we live in a land that eats its babies, literally and figuratively, and also its elders. And we talked at the top of the show about how both of these ideas, these concepts, fuel your work. How can you relay this message again in this moment to young people, to elders who are living on this land in which they feel not only the impact of systems and structures and rules and ideas and ignorance, but they feel destroyed by it, chewed up by it, spit out by it. Mm-hmm. For people who are facing these issues, gun violence, brutality of every kind, domestic violence, how can we relay this message in a way that might be more digestible to people who are facing these realities?
Personally, I'm gonna be a walking example of that. So many things are bigger than words. Some languages per se don't have words to describe certain phenomenon that we may use in this English language. Indigenous tonal sensations mean everything. So just in my presence alone, my essence and me having the knowledge of myself and walking this path from with the guidance of my ancestors, I believe really is enough. And that's really the best thing I can do in communicating any ideals or any thoughts of my own, is to really be that. They say you have to be the change that you want in the world. So
we're talking about transcendence, right? To be
absolutely.
out beyond. Okay. So for those who are listening at home and digesting this, figure out what transcendence means for you in the face of these very literal, tangible ills of the world, and see how that works for you. Devon, I would like for you to tell me, the song that we heard at the top of the show is called Mr. President, which is actually a song that you wrote in 2011, correct? Mm-hmm. And we're remixing it here for this combination of sound and this experience. Mm-hmm. You wrote this in 2011, or did you write it before that?
It's hard to figure out when you actually write songs.
Right.
They just come.
Got it.
So
it came, and then it's coming back again full circle in a very visceral way.
Right.
Let's complete that sentence, and we're gonna go into the next song called Have a Cigar. But I would like for you to, let's do it twice. How would you complete the sentence, Mr. President, in 2011, and how do you complete that sentence now, 2019?
Mr. President is black.
In 2011, that's the sentence?
Mr. President is over.
And Mr. President is over. That sounds like transcendence to me. Let's go into the next song. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the lesson, to the limit and the lesson. The next song is called Have a Cigar. Smoke to that.
It's an ode to Pink Floyd. To the limit. Yeah. Right. General Lee. Come in here, dear boy. Have a cigar. You're gonna go far. make it if you try, they're gonna love you.
They gon' love that. They gon' love you.
Well, I have the most distinct respect, I mean it most sincere.
Yeah.
The band is just fantastic, that is really what I think. Oh, by the way, which one is me? And did we tell you the name of the game? Boy, they call it riding the gravy train. Oh yeah.
Have yourself a Cuban, my brother, y'all finna be huge. I heard them girls hollering about who them royal riders, they roll rude. You know we got that mash up, this ain't a stand up, this ain't a stick up, more like chocolate juice. That rock and roll, soul, hip hop, electronic, the rarest grooves. It ain't nothing like it, we push the envelope wide in the scope with shotgun when we blow the roof. 38 snub nose in the boot, old school revolver, shoot, give me the loot. I'm a bad, bad man that put it on mute. I told her, get the birthday suit, get that monkey right, I'm en route. And fuck you tonight, let's cut it loose, celebrate and roll up, toast, sip the juice. Jam session tonight, we call it new. Broke the mold and rewrote the rules. Roll with the G, we rock it, baby, trust me, that's the house. Roll them dice, you can't lose. Roll them dice, you can't lose. Welcome to the limit, baby. Roll them dice, you can't lose.
We're just not down.
Yeah.
Heard about that sellout. Gotta get this, ooh, we owe it to the people. We're so happy we can hardly count. Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody else is just screaming. Have you seen them charts? It's a hell of a start. It could be made into a monster if we all pull together as a team.
5 fingers to a fist.
And did we tell you the name of the game? Boy, they call it riding the gravy train. Oh yeah.
Get it. Welcome to the limit. Woo! Rock. Roll. Rock. Yeah. Welcome to the limit.
Shout out to the couple of people in the back. I was like, that is just fire. That is just fire. Welcome to B-Side, also in this moment known as the experience of Welcome to the Limit, which is mind bender, which is the limit of you thinking that there's a limit. That stops today.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
I see. Since we're brother and sister now, anybody you share a teleprompter with, you automatically kind of have some kind of relation. So
Nice.
I'm glad that I want to establish that. Now I want to honor you. Let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
There is a patch of skin on your fingertips that's untouched. Let's talk about the untouched parts of the skin, because I want to talk about shedding. I feel like you are a master shedder, as far as like my observation of you from afar in the limited scope that I do have. And I think that there's a really powerful teachable moment that you can share with the world based on your experience literally and figuratively with skin. So let's shed, both of you. I don't know how old you are. really doesn't matter. But let's shed to your 8-year-old self, because I know that for you, this journey begins around 8 years old. And I would love to know what you were doing at 8 years old. I would love for you to face each other and have a 6-word story, which is mikeflo's Instagram claim to fame.
We got to count them out when we work it out.
I would love for you to do a 6-word story from your 8-year-old self to his 8-year-old self. This is obviously before you've met, before you knew that you were going to cross paths in Atlanta a decade later or so, or 2 decades later. And somehow the stars were lining up. New skin was about to be formed. You were about to grow, expand, get all the muscles and the base and the height that would now be this representation of you on this journey at this time. What would your 8-year-old self say to his 8-year-old self in 6 words?
You got 6 of them?
We are welcome to the limit.
Is that right?
He got 6.
So did you cheat, Devon? Do I feel like I need to make you do this again? Did you cheat?
We are welcome to the limit, though.
Okay, so
we would have been that. We've been the same thing our whole life.
Good. Now tell me about it.
Tell you about what? Being the same thing?
That idea, yes.
Well, you know, people change, but people more like become themselves. And when I was younger, when I was a little kid, my main thing was being able to express myself in whatever form. You know, I used to grow up playing basketball, football, you know, music, you know, whatever, you know, and music was my outlet for that, you know, and.
So you're saying that the vibe was already brewing, and you would have seen him walking down the street or in the playground, and you'd be like, yo, I don't know you yet, but I feel like I will, and we are this. You would have, right on. All right, your 6-word story, your 8-year-old self to his 8-year-old self.
Would be.
Look at him.
Oh, okay.
I'll be like about this tall.
That's right, let's do it right.
Stop taking yourself so serious. Even though yourself is kind of a compound word.
Got it.
But I'm a separate it because we can do what we want to do. So stop taking yourself stop taking yourself so serious. And I say that because when I was younger, I put a lot of pressure on myself, trying to figure things out, asking a whole bunch of whys and whys and whys and why is this, and I realized as I got older that I needed to get out of my head and really practice turning my brain off, and just, you know, and I grew into the wisdom that the wise man knows he knows nothing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, my 8-year-old self, you know, was very combative in some ways, extra inquisitive, challenging teachers and things of that nature, in debates. I don't know if some of that was my Sagittarius little 8-year-old nature.
And clearly your 8-year-old self was an 80-year-old man at the same time.
But as I've grown and more into myself and my glory and embracing certain parts of my eldership, I just realized that, you know, this equation we call life is just about inputs and outputs, cause and effects, and it really ain't that complicated. You get out of your head for a minute, you know, put your phone down for a minute.
Hold it on that thought. Put your phone down for a minute. I feel like I love this exercise. We want to squeeze in, we want to make sure we have time for the full song.
You're
so
sharp.
I am sharp, and thank you for sharpening me. I love that exercise. I just want to put it on to the audience. Everybody who's in a group should do something like that. It was really beautiful to watch. Welcome to the limit. Stop taking yourself so seriously. As the last song says, have a cigar, the proverbial kind, at least. Keep those lungs clean. Let's go into the next song, which is called Gray. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about this gray area, a beautiful gray area that we create when we make collaborations of this kind. Give it up one more time for W2TL.
right here, right now.
Lose many things, hold on to pain, a faded love. Still you survive.
Still you survive.
Death knocking on the front door.
Are you gonna answer?
Not anymore.
Why?
Not anymore. I've been living on the edge like I don't care.
Yeah.
Standing on the ledge like I'm gonna fly away.
Fly away. We are. Welcome to the limit.
I've been traveling along, reckless way, feeling too wrong. Weakness I hide away. Woo! See, it ain't over. Still I let my loneliness die today. I let my loneliness fade to gray. Kind of prison in my mind. That's where I lock it deep down in chains. Happy free young boy, wild thing running, midnight I'm on the train. Woo!
That midnight train.
Check. Every day I wanna live my dreams. Freedom's got a pistol to my brain. I want some more. Living on the edge, like I don't care. Standing on the ledge, like I'm gonna fly away. Woo! I've been traveling along, reckless way, feeling too wrong, like I could die this way. See, it ain't over. Still I let my loneliness out the cage. I let my loneliness fade to gray.
I let my guard down and took a blow. Left foot to the heart, I swear to God it with no rope or dope. Took an oath to freedom, I wrote my vows to let it go. Made a promise, keep being honest, 100, let them know. Cause if you lie, they get mad, tell the truth and then they scared. Can't please everybody, hate is coming, baby get prepared. I'm public enemy number one, cause I chose that one. Tired of and fight wild and jumping the gun. I told her timing is a mother. And seasons change, you can't always see them coming. Nothing but love, no ill will, I wish you the best. On whatever, backwards never, put the chapter to rest.
Living on the edge,
Flow.
like I don't care.
Come on.
Standing on the ledge, like I'm gonna fly away.
Woo! We are.
Traveling along, reckless way, feeling too wrong, trying to live the day.
Tell the truth, OG.
Look in the eyes, see it ain't over. Still I let my loneliness die today. I let my loneliness fade to gray.
B-side, W2TL. Audience, y'all all right? Feel good? All right. All right, let's jump back in here. I'm going to qualify a statement that I was making about you being a master shredder, which sounds like master shredder. Shout out to Ninja Turtles. If you watch your trajectory over time, we've seen that not only have you we called you both of you style warriors at the top of the show, your relationship with style and clothing. Not only did the clothing change from for you mostly, each period of your life, and you both have been a part of like multiple musical experiences. You've had relationships with other artists that you've been building, exploring, that have carried you around the world. And a lot of times it's difficult for artists that when they're trying to find a thing, well, a lot of artists are trying to find a thing that is going to stick, that is going to be their claim to fame, that is going to be their golden trophy, that is going to be the thing that carries them all the way to whatever their promised land is. But it seems like in watching both of you, and particularly you, Mike, is that you're living this life as an artist, trying out so many different things. So you go from RBG DJ, RBG Red, Black, and Green family, the Uhuru movement, which was resurgent by Dead Prez almost 20 years ago.
Right.
And traveling around the world with them, and then doing your own hip hop career. You have several EPs and albums, and then you've collaborated with a lot of different artists in Atlanta, in New York, and now we end up here. And then with you, so I wanted to just acknowledge that, because a lot of times that just looks like just trying to figure out whatever works. But I think that with you, you wear a lot of different hats, and it's like part of it may be trying to figure out whatever works, and you can maybe expound on this in a second. But it also looks like exactly what you guys are talking about with W2TL. Like, there's no limit. This life is supposed to be lived, and we try many masks, we try many hats, we try nudity, we try all of the different things to see what fits our soul best.
Right.
And the soul is expansive.
Absolutely. I mean, I like variety, and I don't try to, like I say, think so hard about what I'm going to commit to. You know what I mean? They're like, some people like, yo, I'm going out tonight. I decided yesterday that I'm wearing this, and it's like, you were wearing that coat, but now it's 80 degrees outside, and now it's too hot for that jacket, but you've already made your mind up that you're gonna wear it and stuff like that. And I just don't really subscribe to a lot of that. So,
is that because you have commitment issues?
Not at all. I just know that I'm true to myself, and I know that I may wear some boots today, and I like boots, but I might want to wear some sneakers tomorrow, and that's no offense to the boots. So that's just how I wake up. If I want to make a track, I may be listening to Peter Tosh one day, and the next day I may be listening to Radiohead, or I may be listening to Young Blur, or whatever I'm listening to. And I'm true to that. I've been around the block a few times. I got a plethora of things, that I can pull from, and whatever inspires me, I just go with that.
Okay.
So one day I might have on a full thobe. The next day I may be embracing my love for workwear. I may have on coveralls. And
I feel like this conversation extends beyond name tags and brands and clothing,
Totally.
which is what I'm going for. Let's hold that note there, and I want to jump in with Devon on this. I want to honor you. I think it's a different side of the same coin is when we find pictures of younger Devon, there's a strong thread in terms of style, presence, and image. You are the quintessential person that a man called James Spooner, who came out of college or grad school, I believe, who created the film Afropunk, which created the movement Afropunk, which a lot of people still don't know that. He was talking about young people who looked like you, who listened to music that you listened to, not necessarily this generation of people who, for some, and this is not a bad thing, all right? So don't take this as a bad critique, but who this may be play for, like some people say costume, or this is a kind of a new wave of an image, the punk rock, black rock kind of thing, but this has pretty much been your whole thing. So we got these two interesting worlds of the shapeshifter, who's going through so many different, like 30 tattoos ago, you were doing a whole other project, right?
Yeah.
And then you pretty much had a consistent thread. So nothing is wrong here, right? But this is an interesting marriage here, this gray area that is created between the two of you. So let's finish this statement, and then let me follow up with one more question and go into the next song. The gray area is?
The gray area is life. The gray area is the in-between. The gray area is the indecisiveness. The gray area is the intuition. The gray area cannot be spelled out. It has to be lived. The gray area is.
And the gray area of W2TL is?
You want to hit that one?
That's what it is.
It don't get no simpler than that.
That's what it is.
And my name is Queen Godis, so I know very much about the isness. The isness, when you bring two different things and you said we're going to meld them together, we're going to tape them together, staple them together, we're going to see what works from these two disparate worlds, the shapeshifter and the consistent one.
Not the consistent one.
In a probably non-consistent way.
Right, consistent one.
Isn't that funny?
But
the punk rocker is the consistent one, yes.
But we've been tight for so long that, I mean, you know, we just flow.
And this is, you know, hence the name, mikeflo. Let's flow into the next song. Let's talk more about flow after this next song. This next song is called Her, which is very apt because there's a lot of flow with her. Give it up one more time for W2TL. Welcome to the limit.
Nobody's safe. This prison is a long way home. My heart is bare, a lover's decoy. The tempers flare, love's destroyed. Nobody's safe, nobody's safe, nobody's safe. But I'm chained to another girl. So kiss me while I think of her. Close my eyes and I'm coming for her. When you start moaning, it takes me to her. I want you more when my mind is on her. We in a zone.
Triple OG, a double life. One man and two girls thinking they wife. Look at the strife, the stress, calling me trifling. Baby, I'm too blessed, your paradigm is stifling. But I met a dime in Sweden, had fun in London. Call me a heathen. Got a Somali one from Bali, both play their positions. Pull up, let's party.
I've been a king.
Come on.
I've been a zero. So many girls.
So many.
But I want where she goes.
I'm wasting head, I'm wasting head, I'm wasting hair. Girl, waste the head, girl, waste the head, girl, waste the head.
Don't talk affair. Stop yelling, please, boy. Say you don't care. Come be my real toy.
Your body's safe, your body's safe, your body's safe.
But I'm chained to another girl. So kiss me while I think of her. Close my eyes and I'm coming for her.
Come on.
When you start moaning, it takes me to her. I want you more when my mind is on her. We in a zone.
And can't a damn thing stop it. Revolutionary love, that you can call it. What you wanna do, what you do with it. So we connected, mind, body, and spirit. They can't see it, they can't stand it and hate it. Baby, this life's short, got no time to play with it. Nobody's safe, I cut them off in a minute. Baby, your body's safe, open your mind, let's get it.
we are here with W2TL. Welcome to The Limit on B-Side during this International Women's History Month, the last few days of it, but we have a tendency to extend that for as long as we want because we can do that. I want to give a quick shout out to some women whose names pop up and whose images pop up in multiple iterations of your creative journey. I want to give a shout out to Star, to Issa Star, to Ciroc Dempsey, to Keitha, and to Joy Gilliam. These are women who you've had collaborations with in the past and who you run in similar circuits with. And we just heard the song called Her. I want to ask you to do something for me. A lot of times in rock culture, in touring culture with artists who get to travel around the world and meet so many different people, particularly women all over the world, there's lots of interesting things that happen and that affect the relationship between masculine and feminine, women and men, and the non-binary. If you could, in front of your son, make a statement of maybe an apology on behalf of those women of the world who've never been apologized to or never been acknowledged for their contributions to all of our craft, can just make a statement just on behalf of those who've just never issued a statement to that population in honor of her, whoever she is or whoever that her is. I would like for you to be spokeswomen for this, people for this statement. An apology or an acknowledgement.
I have my apology would have been, because there's no regrets in it all.
Does an apology mean regret?
Well, follow me.
All right.
The apology I would give would be that I apologize for not living in my best, truest essence and believing that my truth was more than good enough. That would be my apology.
Okay.
Because as a leader, if I realize my chi, my G, then and really sit in that and believe that that has the power to help shape any situation. You know what I mean? And sometimes there's turbulence in that, and you'll find that some things aren't for you.
Got it.
But forever many fish get thrown back in the water and makes room for the ones that need to be in the boat.
Okay. So acknowledgement or apology for not always living in your truth and your best self. And Devon, if you were going to make a statement of acknowledgement to the hers of the world, what would that be?
Well, I acknowledge that I see my mother and I see my sister and I see, my daughter and I see, my cousin and I see you and I see her and I see everybody together. And I acknowledge that that's worth more than all of you have been given.
Boy, deep, man.
And there you have it. Thank you both for playing along on this episode of B-Side. That brings us to our close. This International Women's History Month, I think we're leaving each other with a message of acknowledgement, of transcendence, of being our greatest self, of recognizing that there is no limit, of balance, the divine sacred feminine, divine sacred masculine. Thank you for bringing all of that to the stage. Give them a round of applause one more time. There's lots more to find out, and so you know what you got to do at this point in the show. We can't do all the work for you, if you dig. All right, so that's it. Is there anything else really quickly that you want to say before we go into the last song?
I want to say, free your mind and your ass will follow.
He wants to say it again, just in case you didn't hear it the first time. Shout out to George Clinton.
Welcome to The Limit, welcome, the number 2, The Limit, and all of that. Go ahead.
And 2 stands for peace, and that's where we're at in the show. Peace, everybody. Just like that, it is a wrap on another show where the music slaps and the flyers borough on a map where artists wear a lot of hats. Thank you both. Sound, screen, and style warriors. Devon, thank you. Mike, thank you. Thank you both for helping us push limits, perceptions, and creative paradigms. We are glad to get to experience you all in this way and wish you lots of love and light.
Thank you.
If you all like free access to media that will give you life, look out for this and past episodes of B-Side on our YouTube channel. Peep our podcast on SoundCloud or pop on by and get a dose of live up close. I am your host, Queen Godis, singing from the core of my heart. We love you, Brooklyn. Till next time.
Sound like a slumdog mantra. Bombay shit, perhaps it's Sri Lanka. Monster, street fighter, Blanca. Third world, why Toto, no time for Tonka. We conquer, divide bread and roll fronts. Per self, I burn paper, let's get paper. Exotica, the track name is cross genre. Indigenous drums, the voice is erotica. Hypnotic, narcotic, tantric. Seductive sample sets the example. The pheromone, the oil, the black DZAC release the track, tapping the beast and then attack. Arabian oud, sweet myrrh, Moroccan musk. Black ambers, wood resins, mighty kush, essential. Therapeutic aromas, raise this vibration, increase sensations. Welcome to the limit. Come on. Exotica. My mind is all over the canvas. Abstract strokes of passion, fly fashion. I'm just asking, why not jump out the box? The bear with a bucket, crabs crawling, I'm like, I'm on a different rhythm, a soldier of love cadence. Syncopation, relation to chance, spirit dance. Transcend the trance, it's like I'm in it. But I'm not of it, Brooklyn, I rose above it, I stripped down to the prime essence. Just create and self-reveal was the lesson. That it was all in me, answers questions. Minerals, melanin, insight, the mighty blessing, a true confession. I'm attached to some possessions, but I'm breaking the cycle every day. Progression, just confessing. Transformed by higher self, by health, my wealth. Love hard, embrace God. Yeah. Come on. Listen, you hit the ritual, true rites of passage, warrior code, break the mold, slay the savage. That linear, Western world type thinking, meditate more and more, silence and less speaking. And every day is a weekend, a celebration. Give thanks for 2 seeds, procreation, a proactive approach to revolution. Legacy lived through youth, we embody truth. Exotica. Welcome to the limit.